Well over a dozen well-known characters have been confirmed for Spider-Man freshman year. Some are existing MCU favorites who have already crossed paths with Tom Holland's Peter Parker. Some, though, have yet to appear in any Marvel Studios project. Set to release in 2024, Spider-Man freshman year is one of 3 animated shows associated with the MCU. Apparently, Marvel's intention for the series is for it to explore the period of Peter's life that the MCU skipped. By the time Spider-Man showed up in Captain America: Civil War, the character already had his trademark powers and a costume. All the experiences he had leading up to Civil War weren't shown. Though its place in MCU canon is rather dubious, Spider-Man freshman year has been described as a show that will explore how Peter becomes the superhero he is in the MCU movies. Based on what's been previewed so far, the series will see him interact with an impressive number of Marvel Comics heroes and villains, many of which being people not previously connected to Spider-Man's MCU journey. Here's every character currently known to appear in Spider-Man freshman year. Spider-Man freshman year will offer a deep look at Peter Parker during the earliest stages of his superhero career. As the show's title implies, Peter will just be a freshman in high school, still coping with his newfound abilities and responsibilities. For now, there's no word on who will voice him, though it reportedly won't be Tom Holland. Dr. Octopus artwork of the antagonists appearing in Spider-Man freshman year reveal its take on Dr. Octopus. As one of the wall crawler's biggest enemies, Otto Octavius is a top candidate for the first season's central villain. His design is heavily inspired by classic Spider-Man cartoons and comics, which make it abundantly clear that he'll have no link to Alfred Molina's Doc Ock, who occupies a different world in the MCU's multiverse. Tarantula in Marvel Comics: Tarantula aka Anton Miguel Rodriguez is a B-list Spider-Man villain who acts as a champion of a totalitarian South American government. Over the years, several characters have assumed his mantle. The version chosen to represent the Tarantula codename in Spider-Man freshman year is Maria Vasquez. In the comics, Maria wasn't a true villain like her predecessors and served as a member of the Heroes for Hire. Rhino will be among the many characters joining Spider-Man's Rogues Gallery in Spider-Man freshman year. Arguably one of the biggest Spider-Man villains that the MCU has thus far avoided, Rhino is a powerhouse known for his ability to go toe-to-toe with characters as strong as the Hulk. The freshman year image released at SDCC 2022 shows him without his Rhino-like exoskeleton, which suggests that freshman year will explore his origin story. Scorpion: although the MCU's Mac Gargan hasn't become Scorpion or fought Spider-Man yet, freshman year is poised to introduce a comic-accurate interpretation of the character. How he'll get his iconic green suit and scorpion stinger remains to be seen, but his inclusion is one of several reasons why freshman year feels like a show that simply can't be MCU canon. Instead, it looks like it'll take place in a universe that's similar, but not identical to Earth 616. Daredevil: Marvel Studios has big plans for Charlie Cox's Daredevil after his cameo in Spider-Man: No Way Home. In addition to putting him in She-Hulk, Echo, and his own Disney Plus show, Marvel will give him a role in Spider-Man freshman year and a new black and red costume. Since he'll be suiting up, there's a good chance freshman year will include a proper team-up between Spider-Man and Daredevil. Unicorn in the Silver Age: Unicorn was a lesser-known adversary of Iron Man and the Avengers who used a helmet equipped with a powerful laser beam. Looking at the art for freshman year, the show appears set to gender-swap the character and reimagine Unicorn as a Spider-Man villain. Amadeus Cho in Marvel Comics: Amadeus Cho is a teenage genius whose intellect has made him an invaluable ally to characters like Hercules and Hulk. Eventually, he was made a hero in his own right when Marvel transformed him into the totally awesome Hulk. As for how he'll be handled in freshman year, Cho will be presented as one of Peter's high school friends. Chameleon, the master of disguises in Marvel Comics, was one of the first characters to fight Spider-Man, which is why it's fitting that he'll be making an appearance in freshman year. The MCU very loosely adapted Chameleon in Spider-Man: Far From Home through one of Nick Fury's henchmen. Freshman year's Chameleon, on the other hand, looks like a completely different version of the character and someone with much stronger ties to the source material. Norman and Harry Osborn in the MCU. Norman and Harry Osborn only exist via the multiverse and have no confirmed place in the Earth 616 timeline. However, both will have a presence in freshman year's continuity. Whereas Holland's Parker found a mentor in Iron Man, freshman year's Spider-Man will be taken under the wing of Norman Osborn, who may or may not become the Green Goblin. As for Harry, he'll be around as well, but exactly what his role will be hasn't been revealed as of yet. It's possible that he'll be a member of Peter's circle of friends at high school. Aunt May spotted having a friendly chat with Norman Osborn in a freshman year image was Aunt May, who plays an important in nearly every Spider-Man story, live action or otherwise. Considering when the series takes place in Spider-Man's timeline, it's likely that Peter will be working hard to avoid his aunt figuring out the truth about his secret life as Spider-Man. Naoko Minoru. Marvel will make a surprising change to the Spider-Man mythos when it brings in Naoko Minoru, the leader of the Runaways and a budding sorceress. The character, who really isn't affiliated with Spider-Man's corner of the Marvel Universe in Marvel Comics, will get Ned's role as Peter's best friend in freshman year. Interestingly, Naoko already has MCU connections. Played by Lyrica Akano, she was one of the main characters in Hulu's Runaways series. Doctor Strange. Even though the Earth 616 character didn't meet Peter until Avengers: Infinity War, Doctor Strange will be involved with freshman year in some capacity. Concept art for the series reveals his design is based on how he was drawn in classic 1960s and 1970s comics, complete with his pencil-thin mustache. Since both he and Naoko are major figures in the mystical side of the Marvel Universe, it would make sense if their stories were linked in some way. Speed Demon. In the late 1960s, Marvel created an evil facsimile of DC's Justice League called the Squadron Sinister and made the Wizard its answer to the Flash. Later, Marvel evolved the Wizard into Speed Demon, who emerged as a dangerous speedster villain of Spider-Man during the 1980s. Spider-Man: Freshman year will mark the character's MCU debut. Tombstone. Marvel has confirmed that a character named Lonnie Lincoln will be one of Peter's friends in Spider-Man: Freshman year. What's interesting about that is the fact that this person shares their name with Tombstone, a prominent Marvel Comics gangster and one of Spider-Man's oldest foes. Making him someone who's on good terms with Peter is a huge deviation from the comics, but that doesn't mean he won't eventually take on a life of crime. Minor Marvel characters appearing in freshman year. Several other Marvel Comics characters will be on hand when Spider-Man: Freshman year hits Disney Plus in 2024. In addition to Naoko and Cho, Peter will find friends in Pearl Pangan, Wave, Jean Foucault, Finesse, and original character Bentley Whitman. He'll also have to fight Carmilla Black and Brutane, who appears to be a version of the minor Spider-Man villain, Pyromaniac. Key release dates: Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, 2022, release date 2022 11/11. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 release date 2023 05/05. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania release date 2023 02/17. The Marvels: Captain Marvel 2, 2023, Release date 2023-07-28 Captain America New World Order 2024 Release date 2024-05-03 Fantastic Four Release date 2015-08-07 Avengers The Kang Dynasty 2025 Release date 2025-05-02 Avengers Secret Wars 2025 Release date 2025-11-07